Hey guys, how's everyone doing? So today I want to dive into relationship conversation, right, and personal space, and a little bit of secrecy. Okay, so I kind of want to mix all those up a little bit. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about here so it makes sense. You're in a relationship, and then sometimes we're navigating this conversation of what can I keep private, and then what about the secret stuff, and how does that all mesh into the relationship, right? Because I know secrets aren't good for the relationship, but maybe privacy is not good for the relationship either. I don't know. So we're going to kind of dive into that together. And the purpose of that is so that whenever you're in a relationship, or currently you're in a relationship, you're looking at how do I navigate this relationship in the healthiest way possible, right? And I know you want a healthy relationship, you want a good relationship. You want to give your partner some hugs and kisses versus punches, right? Nobody wants any of that. So let's use an example so it makes sense. It's going to be a short video just to kind of get right to the point so you know what to do in your relationship. Now, we have personal space, privacy, if you will. And let's use the term privacy. And then we have secrecy, right? Keeping secrets. And I'll give you an example. There's some humor in it so it makes sense. Let's say you're at home, right? And you want the door closed when you're using the restroom, right? You want your personal space. You're kind of like saying, listen, I want the door closed. I don't want you watching me doing my business. Is that okay? That's where that privacy is okay. But we have to explain it to our partner in a manner that makes sense. We have to kind of break that down as far as maybe talk about your upbringing. Talk about, when I was little in my household, we kept the door closed. Well, you know what? In my household, we kept all the doors open. Look at what you're going to do together as a unit, right? In the household that you share, see if keeping the door open, keeping the door closed, see which option works for you. But again, when we look at this privacy, that's where it's important to allow your partner to have a sense of privacy as far as keeping the door closed when they're using the restroom, right? So that's an example there you could take with you. Now, an example of secrecy where it can lead to insecurities, doubt, issues in the relationship has to do with, let's use the example of going to work. Let's say you leave work at 8 in the morning and you're gone till 5 p.m. You get home and your partner's like, what did you do today? And then you look at them and you're like, well, why do you need to know? Right? So that highlights secrecy. So far, nothing's happened. I get that. I understand that completely, right? You haven't done anything. Nothing's happened. Yet, here's some psychology for you. A lot has happened. You haven't shared with your partner what you did from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. And that's where secrecy can lead the other person to kind of thinking, what are they doing? Why aren't they talking to me? Why didn't they pick up the phone, etc., etc.? Those are those times where you want to open up the umbrella a little bit. Open up your heart, open up your conscience, yourself, to share with your partner what you do at work, what you do during that time period, so that your partner is not left to thinking that you have this part of your life that's secret, right? So you kind of get that. And you're really navigating this. What I really encourage couples to look at is to break the conversation down. So it's not that you're feeling like crap, my partner wants to know everything I'm doing all day long. Let's steer away from that. It's more, I'm really happy and grateful, right? Grateful that someone wants to know everything I'm doing during the day. That's a nice thing. I like to think about my kids when they come home from school. I'm like, what did you do today? Who did you talk to? Who did you play with? Who did you eat lunch today? Because I love them. I'm invested in as much as I can in their life. And sometimes my daughter Nola, she'll say, oh, I don't know, leave me alone. And that kind of highlights, right? I'm giving you a parent-child relationship here, but that kind of highlights what happens in a in a relationship with your partner. You can see the relationship there as far as you asking your partner, what do they do at work? It's because you're invested. You want to know what they did. You're interested. You're genuinely interested. You're showing them love, support, gratitude. And hopefully that allows you here in this video, through the interaction that we're having, to open up those doors a little bit, but also to look at what's healthy privacy in your relationship and what's secrecy that can lead to some negative issues. I generally just encourage people, secrecy, let's throw that out the window. Yes, you can have privacy in the relationship, but there needs to be conversation around it. All right, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed having you here. If you can, subscribe. This is a community of people. Together, we're talking about different mental health topics, and we're just breaking down barriers one day at a time.